What are the waste problems that we find in Ghana that you all probably know?
1,200 tonnes of rubbish is generated in Accra every day, and only 1,600 tonnes of that is actually taken away to landfill or to recycling.
Waste segregation is really important because we live in times where there's absolute resource scarcity.
What happens to the other 600 metric tons which is not collected daily?
It can look beautiful for the day. Next day, when the tide comes in, it brings a whole lot of rubbish back for us.
So it's important that we're able to reduce what we use, recycle where possible, and reduce wastage in our society.
It doesn't seem to matter how many times we do a beach cleanup, it's the same result.
However, these days we refer to waste as materials in transition.
I feel it's our responsibility to educate the communities in which we work in about challenging issues.
PwC, in collaboration with the Environmental Protection Agency and also Hipsters of Nature, is looking to pilot a waste segregation program for the Accra metropolis.
We are also helping, trying to collect a lot of this plastic waste from the market.
Actually working with 10 primary schools in Accra to propagate this message of sanitation and recycling and waste segregation, with the hope that these children will propagate the message with their parents, their friends and their communities wherever they live.
Work with a couple of schools around the Accra metropolis to educate them about the essence of the 3R concepts, which is basically to reduce, reuse and recycle.
Over the years, plastic bags has come to be used because of its low cost and it being water resistant. However, as you may all know, plastics do not decompose easily.
Yes, when we first started running this hotel, we were employing a staff of about 5 people every day to clean the beach. But we realised fairly soon in the exercise that it was fairly futile because every day a new load of rubbish would come onto the beach. And it was coming from the tide. And how it was getting there is that all the gutters and drains of Accra lead to the beach. And there's a surplus of rubbish that isn't dealt with every day. 2,200 tonnes of rubbish is generated in Accra every day, and only 1,600 tonnes of that is actually taken away to landfill or to recycling. So there's a balance of 600 tonnes or 600,000 kilograms of rubbish. And of course because it's not being picked up, it gets left on the streets, dumped in gutters, dumped in drains, and of course as soon as it rains it all washes out to sea. Then the tide brings it all back, so it's a perpetual problem. It doesn't seem to matter how many times we do a beach cleanup, it's the same result. It can look beautiful for the day, next day when the tide comes in it brings a whole lot of rubbish back for us.
Waste is not treated appropriately or not managed appropriately. We're going to have sanitation problems, major issues with flooding, and obviously the threat of communicable diseases like cholera, typhoid fever and so on. So it's really important that we treat our waste properly and take it very seriously.
It's pretty much an environmental disaster happening right on our doorstep in terms of the beaches here. So I think I applaud Hipsters of Nature for having the initiative to go to schools and set up recycling programs and teaching children about the segregation of their rubbish so that things can be more easily recycled. So perhaps of that 600 tonnes of rubbish that's generated or left on the streets every day, some of it can be recycled, or a lot of it could be recycled and made into useful products rather than it just being littering the streets and eventually the beaches.
About 2,800 metric tons of municipal waste is generated every day in Accra. Now approximately 2,200 of this waste is collected. What happens to the other 600 metric tons which is not collected daily? This is waste that you will see in the drains, in water bodies, in the environment, and in marketplaces and on the streets.
PwC is the world's largest accounting and consulting company, and we seek to build trust in society and solve difficult problems. And as such, we are very pleased to be part of this year's World Environment Day in Ghana.
This year we want to continue the collaboration we had with Hipsters of Nature in celebrating World Environment Day. We felt it is important, and we continue to feel it's very important for us to educate the communities we live in about the issues that affect the society. And this year, in collaboration with Hipsters of Nature, we are going to be sponsoring a program sponsored by our corporate responsibility partner, Aisha Bedway. We are going to work with a couple of schools around the Accra metropolis to educate them about the essence of the 3R concepts, which is basically to reduce, reuse, and recycle, while hoping that the students and the pupils would eventually educate their parents and the communities in which they reside, and this in effect would be educating the leaders of tomorrow about understanding the importance of waste segregation.
We are also trying to collect a lot of this plastic waste from the market. We do a lot of recycling for especially the brewery industries, where we pick up their old broken crates from the field, from their warehouses where it cannot be used again, and then we recycle them into different aspects or different products. Plastic, it could be in the bowls, in the chairs, and even recycle that same waste again into the waste bins that we produce, because it's a non-food item. So that's the various ways that we are helping to clear the plastic waste. Also, we get broken or worn out or other replacement from our depots and other places. We all take that. We have a recycling plant. We treat, we wash it, we make sure it's safe, and then we recycle it back into the products that we do.
Some of the things that we've been doing at the hotel to assist in this is we have our own recycling project. We recycle plastic bottles, glass bottles, and paper. We also are trying to find sources of things where we can recycle batteries, light bulbs, printer cartridges, and the like, so that they're not adding to the problem of waste in Accra.
When it comes to Qualiplast, we believe in waste management, because the plastic that we produce is also 100% recyclable. So even the waste coming out from our product when during production are recycled, put back into production. We brought out a waste bin of two sizes, 240 liters and a 120 liters, which help with waste management. I mean, all around the world, people have stopped using various things that they used to collect waste. Now it's all about the waste bins. And the waste, when I'm talking the waste bins, you're talking different colors. Different colors means you're doing waste segregation. Plastic goes into a particular color, paper goes into a particular color, and various things. We all know what the different colors of the waste bin means.
So once you segregate your waste appropriately, each item can be treated as it should and be disposed of appropriately.
I think we need to embrace the idea of recycling and reusing, reducing. We need to embrace the idea of rotting all our biodegradable material so that we can compost that. Useful products can come from that. We can make methane gas, we can generate electricity from it. We could even use it as fertilizer. It's a byproduct. One of the byproducts is fertilizer that we can put on our gardens.
PwC is proud to be working with Hipsters of Nature to pilot this initiative for World Environment Day. The global megatrends indicate that not only is there resource scarcity, but there's a huge impact on our society in relation to waste, sanitation, climate change, and many other related issues. So we feel it's our responsibility to educate our community, and we feel that Hipsters of Nature were the best people to work with for this year's World Environment Day.
What is the thrust of this program? Is to effectively manage our waste and reduce the amount of waste that is landfilled. Let us all help in this drive to segregate waste in this country.